I wanted the film to open with this intense car chase, and that intensity would throw the audience right into the story.
We had 7 Aston Martins, 8 Alfa Romeos. It's a very visceral car chase on streets. So in order to make that feel real, you have to have background cars, even if they're just flying past, you know, in a split second on screen. You know, we had 60 or 70 cars just moving around the streets around our hero Aston Martin and Alfa Romeo, just, you know, as interactive traffic. So every single one of those cars had to be moved and briefed and chosen and bought and sourced.
A special unit was brought in to film and choreograph the car chase, headed up by the second unit director.
The person I wanted to hire was Dan Bradley. You know, Dan's previous works, like, he's an expert in car chases.
This is a pretty challenging place to shoot. You know, dirt roads that are temporary, they're made, you know, they change weekly because as the quarry removes more material, the roads change. So every time I come here, it's completely different. And we, you know, sort of reinvent the chase each time. The guys turning the corner just sort of praying that their wheels stay on the ground long enough to actually make the corner. One of the Bond double drivers is, you know, I said, so how hard is this? Well, it's very much like balancing an egg on a pin. So it's like, all right, this sounds pretty hard.
Normally I'm a rally driver. I've been doing that for about 18 years now professionally, so this seemed to be quite up my street. It's great being told to crash your car. I spent my 20 years rallying being told not to crash. With the rallying, you look ahead. If you start looking at the drops, you go slowly, so we have to blank it out of our heads. And the only problem is here, you're here for 2 weeks, so you get more time to look at the drops, but we try to forget about them.
We had 2 weeks of rehearsal, just so they could get all the guys used to the cars. And I think we got through 212 sets of tyres for the Astons alone.
Once the sequence is shot, the pictures are handed to the sound department, where guns, engines and crashes will be individually added, and the sequence is elevated to another level.
All of those there are little bits of sound. Everything you heard then comes through all of these tracks there. So there are 154 tracks of sound effects in this sequence alone. There's dialogue, there's Foley, so that'll bring it up to about 192 tracks.
Yeah. That's a deliberate. And this is the big smash.
The fights are different. A lot of the original sound is being used. We've had to add contact. So we've had to then create the punches and the wrist breaking and so on and so forth. You can use bones, you can use celery, you can use cabbage, you can use whatever you like. And people hit themselves till they're bruised.
When it came to shooting the rooftop chase in Siena, Daniel was once more planning to do most of the stunt work himself.
There's no trick photography, there's no try to make something look high. This is actually 40, 50 foot, whatever it is. He's actually up here, he's doing the jump. You know, and it's him, we haven't got to try and hide doubles and all that sort of thing. It's quite a gnarly thing. I mean, you know, we've had stunt guys rehearsing it and doing it, but he's actually done the whole sequence.
I have to go up there and I have to push myself to do it. It's a conscious decision, and I have to go, no, right, you know what? I'm going to make myself do this. I'm going to make myself do this, and I'm going to get through this. It's very disconcerting jumping out of the window into an oncoming bus. That's all I'll say. I don't want it to look easy. It should look like it's difficult from getting from A to B. And believe me, it is. So that's not much acting going on.
Composer David Arnold cranks the adrenaline up even further with the addition of the music score.
I knew that there were going to be moments in this where we were going to be a bit more internal.
We spoke a lot about it, and I said I don't want to have the usual action score. It was very important to me to sometimes be reflective and hold back a little bit.
I know from talking to Mark we wanted to sort of discover sort of organic, sort of strange sounds which put you slightly off kilter, so it wasn't just orchestral sounds that you were hearing.
You really don't know anything about us.
So for this, the interrogation scene at the beginning, I know that's going to be kind of really odd and atmospheric. So I'll build these kind of dark, strange sounds, and you know, perhaps add strings. There's some. As we go along, knowing that it's going to be building up, building up, building up, and get to the point where the gunshot's going to be fired. And when we do that, we know that it's going to sort of take off into the action sequence. So I can build a kind of rough kind of drum guide with these, you know. And so rather than sort of drive it along with sort of big brass things, we're using a lot of they're doing a lot of kind of fast bowing. So this is like a synthetic version of what the orchestra will be doing.